Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm joined by Jadelle Mirales and Mauricio Garcia. And guys, I had to bring back the hat. Just for a minute because the Dallas Cowboys tied last game. I mean, I got the tie tuck too because they tied. I mean, this is the first tie since 1969. That was the same year as the moon landing and the last time the Mets made the World Series, won the World Series too. So sorry, Mets fans, we'll talk about a little more about you next block, but just a little stray there, I'm sorry. The Cowboys though, you know, I don't think I can talk that much because a 40-40 tie against the Green Bay Packers. You have never beat the Packers at AT&T Stadium. No. And I thought just maybe this would be the time it happens, but I don't know. I can only describe this game as like a Twilight Zone episode because you go in and it just felt weird from the beginning. I mean, obviously Micah Parsons is on the other sideline. You had that weird extra point blocked for 2. It kind of flipped momentum going into the half. And then in overtime, everything just broke loose. And then with 1 second left, they tie the game and that's how it ends. So it just left you confused and I think all the players as well just wanting more. Right? I mean, Mauricio, you were at that game. So tell me, what was it like in that atmosphere, and how'd you feel at the end?
It felt like an Avengers movie whenever everyone just kind of like settled and were just like, damn, how did Thanos like win? It felt like you wanting more. And that's what so like is sad about it because like I actually thought they would put more time on the board. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know the rules then. But I mean, I just sat there. I was like, man, how did this happen? Like, what went wrong with them? You know, looking over like all the things that went wrong, you know, like especially right here, you know, Green Bay is especially able to get that run game going right here, you know, and just Josh Jacobs, man. Josh Jacobs, that whole game was phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like them being able to read our defense and like them being able to be like, let's just run the ball. They ain't got nothing over there. You mean, and then right here, Romeo Doubs, like, just was phenomenal, too. Being able to be an end zone threat the whole game with 3 touchdowns was just insane. But, like, the whole game, he had 57 yards with, like, what, 5 receptions, I guess? And it's just, it was so crazy to see that. And, like, right here, you know, ooh, I mean,
this is where we finally got something going. There was 0 things going right for the Cowboys in the first half, but finally they get that blocked extra point, Marquise Bell running it back for 2. It felt like that's where the momentum flipped. Then you had the turnover, quick job by George Pickens. Man, what a catch here. Just mossing 2 guys. George Pickens, incredible in this game. We wondered how he was gonna step up with CeeDee Lamb out, and guys, I mean, I think he did it. Dak Prescott here, QB draw. I don't know, QB draws for Dak Prescott I think are just like automatic touchdowns. I mean, he's so good at running the draw and the play action.
But I mean, like right now, you could say like after this game, Dak deserves to be in that MVP conversation as well.
Yeah.
I mean, especially right here, like it might not be a Dak play, but our defense was able to get that momentum going right here. Dak, you know, one play he needs, bam, George Pickens. As you said again, like right here, he's able to show how calm and collective he is against this, like, you know, Packers defense. And what was an interesting stat I saw towards after the game, he had 10 QB pressures that whole game, completed 9 out of 10 of those passes for 134 yards.
Yep, I saw that stat. With PFF, I mean, he's been one of the best quarterbacks ranked on there. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in my eyes, too. I mean, what he's been able to do is incredible. At the end of that half, James Houston is the one that forced that fumble. I just want to shout him out because the Cowboys play-by-play announcer, at least in week 2, their opener, got his name wrong. They called him Dante Fowler. And I'm like, guys, James Houston, learn his name because what he's been able to do is really, really impressive. And now, here we go, Dak Prescott scrambling. Guys, look at this. Finds Jake Ferguson. They find a way, and that's what Dak's been able to do. Under pressure throughout this game, and there's even with the face mask. With the face mask.
Yes.
And Micah Parsons, I don't think quite had the impact that maybe a lot of people were expecting from him. Javonte Williams just punches in that one right there. But he made a play at the end, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Jadelle, I want to let you talk, though, a little bit. This has been a wild one, obviously, as we continue to talk through it. But what did you see from the Cowboys throughout this game, and does it give you hope, or do you think it just leaves a weird taste in your mouth?
Well, as someone who was not rooting for a specific team, I apologize. I know you guys are big Cowboys fans. I also didn't have a parlay, so to me, it was actually a very satisfying game, and it was also shocking that it was the first tie game since 1969. We had just gotten our rights then, so.
Yeah.
But it was very exciting seeing George Pickens catch 2 of Dak Prescott's touchdowns. I think that was definitely the highlight of the game, at least for me.
Yeah, absolutely. George Pickens was awesome. He just reels in another one right there. I mean, he stepped into that role. We wondered what was going to happen with CeeDee Lamb out. And we still expect him to miss maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, but we know that we have a wide receiver, 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call him, that can stand up and make plays happen. So I think that's incredible. Unfortunately, another Josh Jacobs play here. And what the Packers did right here, they made that field goal. I'll spoil it for you. It was unfortunate, and it threw me off because it was like deja vu, 37-37. That was the exact same score as the Giants' home opener. It was 37-37 going into overtime. This time, the Cowboys, Brandon Aubrey boots it in 40-37, and it's like, okay, now maybe we can do it. Jalen Tolbert, an incredible grab here. I mean, guys, it reminded me of Jared Cook back in 2016 for the Packers, but this time Tolbert is able to make the play. Unfortunately, it's like, this is it, right? This is where we're going to win it. Dak scrambles, now going for the touchdown, but guess who brings him down? It's Micah Parsons. Who else? And what a time to get his first sack of the game. I mean, that just felt dumbly poetic for the Cowboys. Now, Jordan Love and the Packers get it back once again. Here, they get the first down. Yeah. I mean, they just found a way to keep getting the first downs. Even on fourth, the Cowboys just could not get the stop defensively. And then here, this is where my heart stopped. I thought the game was going to end, but instead, 1 second left on the clock, finds the ground, and now Brandon McManus kicks it in 40-40 for the tie. And guys, that's the way it ended. And everyone just walks on the field here sort of like, wait, that's it? I mean, like, what do we do next? There's Shoddy, and it's just, I feel like no one was satisfied from this game. Micah Parsons talked about it. Dak Prescott talked about it. I don't know. It just felt like there were obviously no winners in this game. But Mauricio, what do you take from it overall?
I mean, just, what could you say about this? I mean, some of the players didn't even know about this, too. Like, George Pickens, after post-game, even said that, where's the extra time? Mm-hmm. Like, it was so, like, just, like, oh, my God. But
yeah. And I just want to talk through it real quick. George Pickens, 135 yards and the 2 touchdowns. Dak Prescott, 319, 3 pass and a rush touchdown. Javonte Williams, 85 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Jordan Love, though, was also incredible. 337 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Jacobs had 86 rushing yards plus 2 receiving touchdowns. And then Romeo Doubs, I don't know if it's that big guardian cap he wears on his head, but, I mean, they found him over and over again, 3 touchdowns for him. So it was a competitive one. Both teams played really well, but no one played well enough to win. Jadelle, how do each of these teams go into next week and try to shake this off and get a win?
Yeah, so coming into this game, everybody predicted the Packers to just dominate and outscore the Cowboys, but that didn't happen. I think it was part of that mental, since Micah Parsons is just getting, comfortable with his new team, but it was very bittersweet to see him in that green and gold attire, definitely. But that was a great sack that he made on Prescott during overtime, so I think that was a very nice defensive play to see.
Yeah, certainly, and that just felt like the epitome of everything. I mean, Jerry Jones versus Micah Parsons and all the drama leading up to it. Parsons was pretty quiet overall, but he made that play when it counted and really probably saved the game for Green Bay. I mean, I think Dak would have made that touchdown if it weren't for Parsons from behind. So it was a wild one. But end of the day, the Cowboys dropped to 1-2-1. I don't know if they've ever been that record before. You can fact check that. I don't think so. And now, I mean, there are people saying it's better than 1-3. I mean, Kenny Clark said that, but it's like, I mean, it's not as good as a win. Mauricio, how do they take this, going now on the road in New York with the Jets, how do they take this and find some momentum to take from it?
They better come in with some brawn, I could say that, because, I mean, we just saw the Jets get absolutely decimated by the Dolphins, who are really like a bottom team right now, especially, like prayers are to Tyreek Hill, who just got injured, you know, and you look at that offense now, you're just like, how did the Jets lose, And it's like, they're doing what the Mets do. They're pulling the Jets right now, And, going into next week, I feel like, Dak does, power through to that defense like he did to the Packers, who are realistically a top 5 defense in the league. So I do hope that Dak is able to kind of like push on through that defense, but even so, our defense is ranked 32nd. I don't think we mentioned that, but ranked 32nd, as Jerry Jones said, he's hoping for Dak to push him over that 40-yard point.
Yep, and I'm glad you mentioned that stat, because Cowboys defense is ranked 32nd in the league, as you said, but the Cowboys offense is ranked number one in total yards. So you have the best offense and the worst defense, and it's led to 1-2-1. I think that sort of checks out. Jadelle, how does this defense match what the offense has been able to do?
I don't think they should have let go of Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because going into their game with the Jets, I think, what if there's another draw?
Imagine.
What if there's another draw? But I think Micah Parsons really, I do miss Micah Parsons, seeing him in that Lone Star attire, but I think he was a very key part of how the Cowboys stacked up against the other teams in the last 4 seasons. So they should not have let him go. Is there a way we can get Parsons back on the team? I think that's, I think right now.
Can we get a refund? Yeah, it's tough because Micah Parsons, obviously, you know, the name and the player that he is, we saw him on full display, and I still miss him as well. But end of the day, you have Kenny Clark, and you got those 2 first-round picks. So I'll ask you, Mauricio, this defense, I don't think that you can just fix this by mixing up schemes. I think you did maybe a little bit better, but it wasn't enough. Do you think the Cowboys can go out, maybe make another trade, maybe use one of those 2 first-round picks and get a real difference maker to help out this defense?
It's one of those questions that you look at, and it's just like, how can we like make this defense better? I mean, you can go up and down, you can look at trade deadlines, but at the end of the day, you know, I feel like it's got to be patience at the end. I mean, looking at who we have on like our injury report, you know, you have Overshawn, you have Kalen Carson, Butler, our rookie, Siobhan Reevil, who is still on IR. And now Malik Hooker, he just went on, you know, just on the IR. And it's one of those things where it's just like, I feel like you just have to be patient with it. I mean, you could realistically, rate it out, because it's only the 4th week as well. Let's be realistic. 4th week in the NFL. And it's just, we already are like 1-2-1. We just have to be patient with this defense. You know, Matt Eberflus, you know, if I don't see any change with this defense, you know, we're going to be pitchforking you like the Chicago Bears did with you. But I mean, like, if we don't see a change by like either week 7 or week 6, you know, I don't see any kind of,
You should be able to recover.
yeah, being able to recover from this.
Yeah, I certainly hope so, and we're going to just have to see. But for now, we're going to move into October. We're almost there, and talk about MLB postseason.